Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about ethnic discrimination in Lebanon. We're going to see how being a Syrian in Lebanon affects one's position in society and the numerous challenges he may face because of his ethnic differences. Jawad Qaisaniya is a 29-year-old Syrian who studied at the American University of Beirut. He mentioned that he faces a lot of challenges in Lebanon due to his ethnic and cultural differences. Not only do these challenges affect his personal life, but they also affect his professional life. First, how being a Syrian in Lebanon affects one's position in society. Jawad mentioned that he got rejected to most of the jobs he applied to, even though he was overqualified for the position, and that was because he was Syrian. He also mentioned that for 2 cases, he was among the applicants that were selected for the job, but then when he gave them his personal documents, they would figure out he was Syrian and then would reject him from the job and tell him that his application could not be conducted. He mentioned other cases where he was referred to people by his friends or AUB instructors, and then he would do great on the tests and interviews, but eventually he would get rejected from the job. Second, we're going to talk about the challenges that Syrians face in Lebanon due to their ethnic differences. First, it is important to mention that for a Syrian to get a Lebanese citizenship, he would either have to get a UNHCR certificate or a Lebanese sponsor. It is also important to mention that in July 2022, the Ministry of the Displaced declared a plan to deport 15,000 Syrian refugees per month. And in October 2022, 700 refugees were deported, many of them being forced. Syrians face many challenges in Lebanon, some of them including the risk of being deported, as 80% of Syrians face that risk, and for many, it is not their fault. For example, Jawad has not been able to renew his citizenship, and that is because his sponsor has a problem with the officers. 2. Certain jobs are only reserved for Lebanese citizens, and that was declared by the Ministry of Labor, which reinforced the restrictions against Syrians and the discrimination against them, as it only limited them to low-skilled and low-wage jobs. These are 2 charts showing the distribution of Syrian workers by each sector and the distribution of Lebanese workers by each sector on the right, Syrians being on the left. As you can see, about 80% of Syrians work in agricultural, manufacturing, and construction jobs. Ethnic distribution does affect many Syrians in Lebanon, but Jawad mentioned that most of his friends are Lebanese, and there are big communities that stand against discrimination and don't think that all Syrians are useless or bad. This shows hope that the situation in Lebanon is susceptible to change for the good. These are the references I used for the presentation. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please do ask.